y'all?
I was just asking Derrick what his nickname is because I saw someone call him D Money, and apparently y'all call him a lot of different things. Would love to hear the other nicknames that we have, if there are any good ones. I love D Money.
No, don't ask them that. This chat gonna turn real fast. Don't you want to ask them that?
Oh, some nice raids coming in. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, everyone. My name is Casey. I'm on the community team here at Whatnot. And if this is your first time tuning into Whatnot Sellers, welcome in. We run a lot of different shows on this account, but today we are doing a seller fireside chat with Derrick, a beloved seller in our snacks category. If our mod can go and tag Derrick and just encourage folks to follow him, that would be great. Derrick is the king of thumbnails and entertainment quality on the platform, and we're going to be able to learn a lot from him today. Um, Welcome in, welcome in. So yeah, feel free to save our upcoming shows. Please follow our guest speaker today, Derrick at Fundamentals, selling amazing snacks. And if you have questions for our guest of honor today, please put them in the chat. We will go ahead and jot down as many questions as we can, and we'll get to them towards the end. All right. Derrick, do you want to do a quick intro for yourself?
Yeah. Well, what's up, y'all? Good to see y'all. My name is Fundamentals, aka Derrick, aka D Money, aka Caramel King, aka that's as far as we're gonna go. But I sell snacks here on the platform. It's an honor to be hanging out with Casey, Kenny in the background, breaking stuff. Shout out to Whatnot for reaching out to me. I really appreciate it. I've been on the platform for 3 years total. 2 years really active, going in hard, and I'm just glad to be on.
I love it. Yeah, and we'll definitely get into your story a bit because I think your start at Whatnot and your return to Whatnot is just really good to chat about and good for new sellers to hear about as well. So I know you've been a reseller for a long time. Can you chat briefly about your reselling history and then how you got started on Whatnot?
Yeah, I've been a reseller for about 20 years, and on all those other platforms outside of here, every last one of them, I've tested them, or I'm still currently on them. And I came over to Whatnot. I had a couple of friends, Jen's Multiverse and Sumo Knives. They were on the platform initially. They was like, "Hey, you need to come on over to Whatnot." I was like, "Number one, I don't know what it is, and I ain't coming over there. Number two, I need y'all to stop asking me." But eventually, I came over, and I'm a spectator. Like when I go in, I'm like, I'm going to study the platform from the good to the bad. So I studied. I watched both of them and took the plunge over on Whatnot. I feel like it was a great opportunity. I was avid. I was humanely against going screen first. I always wanted the screen to be the focus on my snacks, and they convinced me to go on screen, and it kind of just took off from there. So I love it.
I love to hear that. And it's so interesting to hear this background for you because to me, you're like a born entertainer. So it's so funny to hear that there was a time where maybe this didn't feel supernatural to you. But what I found really fascinating about your story was that you first started on Whatnot a few years ago and then needed to take a break. Would you be able to talk about that a bit?
Yeah, man. So if I'm diving in, as I said, I jump in the deep end. I don't get my feet wet. I dive completely in. I immerse myself into the platform, and that's what I did. Not really knowing what it was going to take to really be consistent on the platform. So I came in, I got my 1,000 sales very rapidly on the platform. I was running 4 or 5 shows a day. And back then, we used to have marathon shows. I'm talking about, 6, 7 hours. And I didn't take into the fact at that time how much inventory I was pushing through. And I kept having to replenish that inventory to bring it back on Whatnot because it turned so fast, and I burnt myself out. I legit just got tired of selling, and I went cold turkey. I did a show. I told everybody, "Hey, I'll see y'all in about a week," and I didn't come back for 2 years. And that's kind of what happened. I kept my focus on the stuff outside of the platform, and then I decided to make the leap back.
Yeah, and I think that that kind of story really resonates with a lot of sellers because, of course, there's so much opportunity here on Whatnot, but burnout is real if you don't know how to manage your schedule or really just get caught up in everything. So, yes, agree with the chat. So, so happy that you came back. What do you think you're doing differently this time to make sure that you feel healthy and balanced with your business on Whatnot?
Mine was, I think you just said it right there, Casey. It's the balance. I couldn't. I had the work life, home life balance was absolutely horrible. My kids are young, so I didn't want to miss the opportunity of being able to do a lot of things with them as I was. I was not only doing this full time, I had a full time job, and I also was reselling full time. I just had no time for my family. And that was very important to me. I didn't want to miss all these key opportunities that was going on in their life. So once I figured out that balance and stopped working for a full time job and went full time reselling, that opened up so many doors and opportunities for me to be able to find a better balance and a schedule that not only worked for me, but it would kind of work for my family to be able to kind of to do the things that they want to do as well.
That's awesome. So I'm hearing you really had to just sit down and kind of figure out your priorities and where you wanted to spend your time.
Yeah.
I think that's great. And I think is a really good lesson for other sellers as well to really think about your priorities and make sure you're kind of grounded in your why whenever you can. So that's
Yes.
great. And also shout out to Jen's Multiverse because I know she was the one that convinced you to come back, correct?
Yes, so Jen, shout out to Jen. Jen was harassing me. It was lightweight harassment. I almost called the police on her 3 times. She, she every time I would come to her show, Jen would be like, "Yo, D, yo, the people asking for you." I was like, "Number one, I need you to stop telling me that, and number two, I don't know what people you're talking about, but I don't owe them money. I hope I don't owe them money." But every time I would come on, she would tell me, "D, you got to come back. You got to come back." And then finally, I decided to come back. And once again, I'm just glad she stayed on me about that, because I didn't mention this before, but I we had myself and Regina Michelle, we had a chat show on YouTube called Hump Day Hangout, and we did that for 5 years without missing one Wednesday. So Jen was a big part of that community as well. So she would always, be engaged with that. She's like, and she just kept telling me I'm missing out on this whatnot. It's growing very rapidly. So
Yeah, we love Jen, always advocating for the community and showing up for her pals. So, very, very grateful to you and so happy that you came back. Thank you for whoever just rated us. Welcome in some new folks. We're chatting today with Derrick from Fundamentals, all about his seller journey, tips and tricks. So, please stay tuned. We're happy to have you here. And if you have questions for our guest of honor today, please put them in the chat. And we will go ahead and get to as many as we can at the end. Also, shout out Spiritual Supply Co., my OG guys right there. So happy that you're
yes, yes, yes.
so happy you're here. Um, all right. So something that you are really good at is building community and showing up in unique ways for your followers and for other sellers and things like that. So just kind of shifting gears to talk about community building. What inspired you to really prioritize active community building on the platform?
I think it kind of goes with just the life lessons, right? We can never get anywhere fully by ourselves. That's just going from childhood to work, real life work, 9 to 5. Everyone thinks you can get somewhere by yourself, and you can to a certain point. But I knew, just from coming from YouTube, that it takes a tribe, and for us to be able to grow how we want to grow, we gotta reach out branches to people, and lean on their skill sets as well. So I wanted to bring that whole feel back over here to Whatnot. Um, being in a snack category, it's a newer category, and now, yeah, everybody loves snacks. and wants to eat, but it's still very small. There's a lot of people that don't even know. I'm sure in the chat. In the chat, if you guys didn't know there was a snack category, drop any type of emoji you want. Um, like a lot of people don't know there's a snack category, and myself and Blazing Bunny made it a point to say, you know what, we're going to grow the snack category, and the best way of doing that is going outside of the category and doing raid trains and joining raid trains and doing little things like that. To every opportunity we get, we sell snacks on these raid trains where people may be selling T-shirts. I'm about to sell you a snack. I don't care what you about to eat something today. So you know, and that's what we did. As we advocated the category, and we know we can grow together really, really, really big, and that's kind of it's working. And that's all I can say. It's working.
I love that. Yeah, because there's two ways to really grow community on Whatnot. There's community with your buyers and community with other sellers. And, partnering up with other sellers is such a good way to promote yourself. So really glad to hear that that worked. And I love that mentality. I'm gonna sell you something to eat. You're
Yeah,
gonna eat
you eating
something.
something.
I love that. That's very entertaining to me. The other thing too is that you take entertainment really seriously on your account, which I really, really admire about you and your business. I know that a lot of those skills for you came from your YouTube days of hosting your show. But can you talk about some strategies that you have to just keep your community engaged, and interested in what you're doing?
Yeah, my big thing, even like a busy show like this, I'm constantly looking at the chat. I think acknowledging people as they come in. And I know it gets really hard, especially a show like this. It's just impossible. But when we're running our shows, I try to acknowledge, if not everybody, every couple of people, thank them for being there. Everybody wants acknowledgement, no matter what anyone says. I'm someone who you don't have to give me a pat on the back, but I tell you what, by damn, when you do pat me on the back, I appreciate it. So it's just more just showing them appreciation for coming in. Not only that, there's a lot of shows out here, right? They can be anywhere in the world. I sell snacks. We ain't shooting off rockets here. We selling snacks. Everyone sells a lot of the same snacks. So one of the ways to make yourself stand out a little different is maybe your setup, maybe have a Christmas tree up all year, maybe have music in the background. It's not going to be for everybody, but it's me and people who like me and likes that vibe. They're going to come in and they're going to rock with you because you're going to show up and do that same thing every single time. And I love to have fun, man. Dude, we got real lives outside of this platform. And the last thing I want to do is bring that negative energy to my shows. And so I try to keep everything uplifted. And I'm very straightforward and blunt. And once again, it's going to rub some people the wrong way. But for the people that are here for it, they're going to love and appreciate you for it. So I stay genuine to myself.
I love that. It's really like selling authenticity and just being yourself, and that's what's going to set you apart from other sellers. In addition to great product, of course, but Whatnot at the end of the day is an entertainment platform. So I think that's a really good mentality to have. I'd also love to know if anyone else in the chat has a Christmas tree up right now. It's a
I knew it.
Christmas all year round person. Please show some solidarity with our guest of honor, Derrick. I would love to know.
There's two people.
There's two people. We know there's two people. I love it. I love it. If you're just joining us, welcome in. We're talking with Derrick of Fundamentals today, a beloved snack seller in that community. I'm talking a lot about his business journey, streaming tips and tricks, all that good stuff. So if you have questions for Derrick, please put them in the chat and please go ahead and follow him. He has some really great shows coming up soon. All right, I'm going to pivot to talking about trust because building trust and maintaining trust with your audience is a huge part of being a successful seller on Whatnot. So, do you have any advice for building trust as a seller on Whatnot?
I think the easiest thing to build trust on Whatnot is just, it sounds so cliche, but it's the absolute truth. Just be yourself, man. No matter what, people are going to like you, people are going to dislike you. But if you stay true to yourself, you will never have to worry about coming off any different. It's harder to keep up a lie than to live your true means, right? Because now you got to keep up a lie and you got to turn another lie to keep that lie, and it just becomes conflicting. It's too cloudy. So showing up as yourself, try to give great customer service. Uh, Coming to your shows, man. If you schedule a show, another way to build trust, you schedule a show, show up for your show. Don't keep pushing it back. Don't change the day. People are going to eventually give up on you because it's kind of like the bull who cried wolf. Come to your shows. And if you give people your word, because this is something people don't hold firm nowadays. You know, your word is your bond. So if you give somebody your word, you're going to do something, you better damn well do it. All right. Or just don't say nothing at all.
Totally. Yeah. Folks really want to be able to depend on the sellers that they work with and they buy from. So I love that. Any other reasons that you'd like to add of why you think trust is so important to the whatnot buyer-seller relationship?
Because not only does it affect you, it affects other sellers. Um, like
True.
I'm in the snack category once again, small. You come to my show, I'm telling you, I'm giving you a bag of chips, and I send you something totally different. Not only are you going to lose trust, you're their first experience. You are whatnot at that point. So whatever you present out there, and you give them bad customer service, you give them the wrong product, uh, you send it to them. That first experience to them is whatnot sucks. And I don't want to be in the snack category no more because Derrick represented the snack category at that particular time. He's the only one that snacks. Snack sucks. I'm going to tell my friends about it, and we're not going to come back over there. So that's why it's so important. You got to hold it not just for you. You got to hold it for the category that you're in as well.
I love that. Getting a lot of agrees, so true in the chat. So definitely resonating with a lot of sellers there. All right, we're going to move on to challenges and lessons learned throughout your time on Whatnot. And reminder chat, if you have any questions for our guest today, Derrick, please put them in the chat. We'll get to as many as we can towards the end. So can you just talk about some of the biggest business challenges that you faced on Whatnot and how you've overcome them?
How Starting from when I first came to Whatnot, one of my biggest was inventory.
Hmm.
People forget that Whatnot is a quick turnaround. It's an instant turnaround. Meaning, if I get this bottle of water and I sell this bottle of water today, I got to go get more. So you got to invest that money that you get out of Whatnot back into inventory. Then you got to get more because this water sold so fast. I got to get 5 more now. So it's a constant process of investing your money, going to buy more inventory, and then you got to have a constant sources of inventory on where you can get it from. Don't let your streams dry up. You got to be consistently looking for that. So that's time. So that process. The second piece of it is engulfing yourself with people that are going to respect you, that's going to uplift you, that's going to root you on, that's going to kick you when you go in the wrong direction. You got to invest in your circle. One of the biggest challenges I had was I was dropping myself in the wrong circles. I was spreading myself too thin. I was doing something that went totally against how I live my life, which is keeping a small circle of trusted friends. And I kept stretching myself out, jumping in these circles, and I knew I shouldn't have been. So once I pulled my circle back in very tight, that's when I started growing the way I wanted to grow. So it's just really finding your group of people that's going to support you and know that they're here for your best interest at hand. And you can't go wrong with that, man.
Yeah, I love that. If I could, press into that a bit more, just specifically, are you talking about other sellers, your mods, buyers? Like, who are you trying to be like particular about who is in your inner circle?
I think it goes all. I think it ties hand in hand. Sellers, right? You, Whatnot. People know me very well. Whatnot is a very amazing platform, but there's bad apples and on no matter where you go. So you really got to watch that who you tie yourself to, because you can be a great amazing person, but you are who you surround yourself with, and that's all people can see. Guilty by association type of thing. That's the absolute truth, and you got to be careful with that. Um, and then also, let's talk about mods. Mods is very, very, very important. Do you need mods? Not really when you're smaller, right? Smaller as in how many people in your room. But as you start getting more and more people in your room, you got you. It's imperative that you have people you can trust to help you manage your shows. It's imperative. You don't think you do, but there's so many things that the mod does for you to help you keep your show running. Maybe you'll miss something. Maybe there's trolls coming in. Maybe they're posting important notices down at the bottom, right, as you're running your show. These are people that you trust and trust to keep your show moving in a forward fashion, because at the end of it all, we are on Whatnot to make money. And if you're not doing things on Whatnot to make money, you're on the wrong platform. Social aspect is great and amazing. I love doing my talk shows, but I'm on here to make money, guys. And making great friends out of it, that's amazing. But my number one goal is to make money on this platform.
Yeah. Getting a lot of hard agrees on the platform, and shout out to all the mods out there. Y'all really are the backbone of Whatnot. So much love to you all. Thank you for the raid. Um, because you also invest so much in your community, is there any ways that your community has really surprised you in supporting you along the way?
Man, they surprise me. They seem to surprise me every week, man. I remember there was this big. They had a big raid that they put together. We had this big raid train we did, and it was called. There was a bracket battle, and I was kind of the host of the bracket battle, while my co-host Blazing Bunny, she was participating in the battle as well. And everyone kept telling me, I'm thinking back on the most recent. Everyone kept telling me, you should be in the battle. Me, I like wearing the top hat, sitting right there with my legs kicked up, watching everybody stress out. Right, like that was entertaining to me. And then at the end, I participated. What they did for me one time is they put a bunch of people together in a chat I was not involved in, and they came in and was tipping the heck out of me. And I grew with so much, like thinking about, I'm an emotional person, but I'm also a lightweight a-hole, but it's a good one. And like, dude, that right there was totally unnecessary, but highly appreciated. And that it just blew my mind that people would care for you like that, in ways that you never would have guessed. Because the people that you want to support you, let me throw this out there, the people that you want to support you, your close family, maybe your significant other, maybe your boyfriend, your best friend, they're never going to have that same energy that you have for your passion, this platform, as people that do it, as people who are around you all the time. And you can't expect them to have that. You can't get mad about it, because this is not their business. This is not their platform. They don't know nothing about it. They only show up because you ask them to. The people around you, that tight knit circle, those are the ones that's going to push you and motivate you and make you smile and make you happy. Those are the ones that are really going to surprise you. Um, so when they do stuff like that, man, it's mind blowing. So number one, I want to say I appreciate all y'all. Know what it was. I appreciate all y'all, and I love y'all for that.
I love that. Such a good story. So going back to what you said before, at the end of the day, we're on Whatnot to make money, and I think community is an amazing benefit to that goal. So with all of your community building efforts, has there been anything specific that has been really impactful in, growing your sales or your business overall?
Hmm. I think one of the biggest things has been, I'm going to say raid trains.
Mm,
Finding the right raid trains and being on those. You get so much exposure on raid trains that you never would have thought you would have gotten. Cross category raid trains. They don't know about you in these purse categories. They don't care about that, right? I'm over women's clothing, golf. Like, these raid trains are life changing if you run them correctly and you're prepared for them. If you're not prepared for them, it could be devastating to you, because you have now just got dropped in front of a bunch of people that never met you before, and your audition failed miserably. It's like a job interview. You only get one shot, so you got to be prepared for that. So these raid trains, shout out to Whatnot for setting those up. They have been life changing and business changing for me because I feel like my entertainment value that I love to put out. When I hit go, when I hit turn on the camera, I don't care what's going on in my life. The show is all that matters at that point. And if you come with that mindset every single show, and you show up every single show, and you give it 1,000% every single show, you cannot go wrong. I don't care if it's two people in the room. It's about to be me and you. We're about to have the greatest time in the world for whatever time that I'm on there. So best believe that.
I love that. Always consistent with the energy. I love that. Um, you also are really good at collaborating with other sellers. I know that you're doing a joint stream fairly soon. Um, but I know for a lot of new sellers, they're quite fearful of reaching out to other sellers to start those collaborations. So, do you have any advice for how best to approach other sellers or just how to get your name out there to participate in collaborations?
Yeah, look, get in the chats, guys. These community shows, a lot of people have community shows. Go in there, hang out in the background. You don't have to say nothing. Go in and hang out, see if that's your vibe. If not, find the next one. And then eventually you're going to find some people that you connect with, link with. Start dropping comments, just like how everybody's dropping comments in here. You start dropping comments, acknowledging the conversation that's going on. If you're looking particularly for raid trains, go into Amazing Whatnot search bar, type in raid train. A million of them are going to pop up. Find out who's doing the raid trains. Don't go in there and say, hey, I would love to be part of your raid train. No, you don't know who these people are. Follow them, watch some of their shows. If that's your vibe, if that's your gig, go over there and say, hey, I've been following you for a while. You see me in some of your chats. I would love to be part of your raid train. Don't just jump in and say, I want to be part, because if you did that to me, I'm probably not going to read your message. Just keeping it a buck. I'm not. You're not even following me. How are you on a raid train? I haven't seen you once.
That's fair. No, totally. And I think that's a really good idea of just making sure that you're getting your name out there, showing up for other sellers. It really helps. Evermore Cottage, I am alive. I'm so glad to see I'm alive.
That's crazy. That's crazy work right there.
That really cracked me up. All right. Well, if you guys are just joining us, we're talking with Derrick from Fundamentals today, a beloved seller in our snack category. Just talking all about business ups and downs, best practices, that kind of stuff. So thank you so much for joining us. We're going to be getting to our chat questions fairly soon. So if you have any more questions for Derrick, please put them in the chat. We'll try to get to as many as we can. A few more questions on my end for you, though, and we're just going to pivot to talking about the new seller experience. So I'd love to touch on the burnout piece again, because I know that that was a core part of your beginning at Whatnot, that you started on Whatnot, got burnt out too quickly. And now this time around, you really figured out your priorities and feel much more balanced coming back into Whatnot. So do you have any advice to new sellers for figuring out their own balance or their own priorities and how to stay on top of that?
Yeah, I think number one is figuring out, why are you on Whatnot? My friend Rework is Passion always says this. What's your why? Why are you here or Whatnot? Are you here just to hang out? Are you here just to make a little bit of money? Are you here to try to see if this can be a mainstream income? All those little questions are important in the beginning, the why. Once you figure out that why, if you're on the platform, you might as well do it to your fullest capability. All right. So schedule consistent shows. All right. If you want to only run one show a week, guess what? Find one day a week where you want to run that show. Schedule that show out, not just one. Schedule about 5 or 6 of those shows out. That way it helps hold you accountable, right? Once you schedule those shows out, that's a commitment. Commit to those shows. Schedule those shows out at the same time every single week. That way people can start knowing who you are. Oh, look at that. Samantha is scheduled at 6 o'clock today. Let me go see what they're all about. Oh, they come on again next week, same time. Oh, Samantha's on again. Let me go check her out. Another thing, right? Oh, she's on again. Let me buy something from her this time, right? It's just really developing a consistent schedule. So you start seeing some of the same people in your chat, right? The people that's on at 6 o'clock, there's people that come on at specific times because they have things outside of this platform. They start seeing you at that same time. You have now become their favorite show. You're like a sitcom now.
Yeah.
So now they're coming in to see you at that time. So schedule those consistent shows. Third, very important. I seen it happen last night. Run your show the way you want to run it. If you want to run your items for $3, starting at $3, run your items at $3. Don't come into your shows asking, all right, guys, what do y'all want to see? Y'all want to see this? Oh, y'all want me to start it for $1? No. Run your show how you want to run it at the price you want to start it at and run all the way through your inventory. You have prepped all week for this show. And I'd be darned if having two people in my room is going to stop me from running all of my items that I prepped for all week. Nope, not going to happen. We about to run me and you about to look at 150 snacks a day because I did not prep for me not to run these items. So I hope you enjoy snacks. We're about to run through them. So that's it.
So true. And at the end of the day, you just need one good buyer. Like maybe I'm coming in by myself later today and I'm really hungry. So I do, in fact, want to buy 150 snacks. Like you just, you never know who's going to be there. And even if sales are not going how you hope, especially for new sellers, it's just a great experience to learn how to run your items, be a better host, invite people in, whether there's one person or 100 people. It's still a really good opportunity. So yeah, maybe foreshadowing me in the future, coming into your stream and buying 100 snacks from you. We'll see.
Yo, it can happen. It totally can happen.
All right, last questions I have for you, and then we'll pivot to community questions. Do you have any other advice or strategies that new sellers should use if they are brand new to their whatnot journey?
Ah, strategies. Study, gosh, man, you got to study the platform.
Mm.
Do the work. Do the work behind before you hit go and think it's cool. You see a lot of us on this platform, whether you're small sellers or larger sellers, in people's eyes, and we make it look easy. We make it look easy. It's not. It's not, and you will find out very quickly that it's not easy if you haven't studied the category that you want to sell in. All right. If you haven't studied the best time that works for you, Whatnot is a 24/7 platform. Stop being intimidated by people being on when you want to go on. Why? Because there's always going to be somebody on. You're going to be intimidated a whole day because someone is always on. Schedule your show, run your show at the time you want, and do not look at who's on at that time. Because you know why? People bounce back and forth into shows. You see people coming out, you may have 5, you may have 15, you may have 1, you may have 50, and you may get rated by somebody that's on right now at your time. Their show in, they're like, hey, let's go check out Casey. She has a few people in the show. We're going to rate her with 800,000 people. You got to be ready. You have to be ready. Don't get starstruck. If you're running a show, like I just told you, you should run it. Like no one, like you have a million people in there already running it from A to Z. You will be ready for that raid and you will take off from that. All you need is one opportunity. So, yeah, guys, don't care who's on, schedule your show and just run it.
I love that. Running things, staying consistent, studying the platform, all really good pieces here. Yeah, if mods could also flag, I think I just saw this in the chat, but Seller Academy,
Yes.
help.whatnot.com, another great way to study the platform and get more tips and tricks and facts, but also just studying other sellers. Like Derrick here, we have it pinned now, fundamentals. Please go follow Derrick for some amazing, great advice and check out their upcoming shows and buy all the snacks from him. He knows what's up.
Guys, help.whatnot.com is a lifesaver. Let me tell you, I go there weekly just to look at things to make sure if it's updated. and just to double check policies. If you're looking to try to do surprise sets or any of these game type items, go check out the whatnot help.whatnot.com. It'll answer all your questions. Everyone likes to say whatnot is whatnotting. No, it's you. Okay. Whatnot doesn't whatnot for the same person every single time. If you run a show if you run 5 shows and you hit a moment where you say whatnot is whatnot, it's not whatnot, it's you. So stop your bad habits, go to help.whatnot.com, find out what's going on, and you'll be okay.
Yeah, totally agree with help.whatnot.com. We have a lot of great stuff there. Definitely follow Whatnot Sellers. We have great shows almost weekly. So we are here to help. And also other sellers are a really great resource as well. There's so many sellers in your category that are likely doing support shows. So the support is there. Don't feel afraid to ask for help.
Exactly.
All right, moving on to community questions. So if you have any questions for Derrick, our guest of honor, please put them in the chat. We'll try to get to as many as possible. Somewhere Thrifty asks, how do you stay organized to package things fast? I had my first show, 40 plus sales, and I'm feeling stressed.
That's very important. And congratulations on an amazing show. That's an amazing show. Anytime you sell one item, it's an amazing show. But 40, congratulations to you on that. Number your items out, okay? Or if you're not numbering them, make sure they're preloaded. A lot of people do random pulls. Some people preload their items. If you preload them, obviously the pictures are up there, the titles are up there. Boom. All right, you're done. But numbering them out is important. I wish I had it here beside me, and I don't. I have these garage sale stickers that are just circles, different colors, and I write the numbers on there and I stick it right on the item. A lot of clothing sellers have the hang tags that they hang on the hanger when the item sells, one through whatever. Right, very important. A lot of people use painting tape because it comes off very easily on items. People do that, rip it, write a number on it. Those are very, very, very good ways to stay organized when you sell an item. That way, when you go to pull it, the great thing with Whatnot, it bundles everything together from the same buyer. And so when you go to pull it and you go to your shipping screen, all the numbers are there. You just pull from your numbers and do one order at a time, right? Do one order at a time, knock it out, and you're golden. But congratulations again. 40 is an amazing number.
Love that. Yeah, and totally agree. And one thing I'll add there for Somewhere Thrifty, totally feel free to give yourself some grace. This was your first show and a super successful show, might I add. So it's going to
Yeah.
just take some time to feel comfortable and find your groove and the system that works for you. So you're killing it. But yeah, I think that these tips and tricks always help, and labeling is really helpful as well.
Can I add one thing?
Totally.
Finish the process. Shipping is just part of it. The last part of the process is packing the item and getting the box to them how they saw it on screen. Utilize the proper boxes to ship your items. The shipping piece is the last part of the sale. When they get that box, they should be pleasantly surprised. Do not send a Louis Vuitton bag in a diaper box, okay? It sounds cute, and yes, we're recycling. Thank you for trying to save the planet. But there are some great boxes that you can go get from Walmart or Amazon, wherever you get your Uline, free from U.S. Postal Service, whatever you want to do. Ship your items in the right box, please. Accordingly, I don't want to get a very nice item in a Pop-Tart box. Shout out to the people that ship in Pop-Tart boxes, but those aren't meant to be shipped in. All right. Finish the sale. The last part of the sale is getting your item that you shipped off in the proper box and present it to them very well. Okay.
Love that. And there's also some great free shipping supplies from USPS that you can start out with too. So love that. This is a this is a silly one. D Jones Graham asks, do you dust your Christmas tree?
So disrespectful. I do. I use a little hand vacuum. The Christmas tree, this is called the reset tree, guys. It stays up all year. I turn it on when my room gets a little rowdy, man. We turn it to the Christmas tree and we reset the room really fast. So it's a great part of my show that we like to keep in there. And It doesn't help. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's a great break, but as soon as we come off the tree back to the TV screen, people still wild. So I appreciate it.
I love it. All right, Simi Sam asks, what prompted you to start your interview and community series of shows?
It started from YouTube. When I got on YouTube because my son thought it was cool. He's like, the kids that sit right there and watch people play games on YouTube, and I never understood it. I was like, that's the dumbest thing in the world. How are you watching somebody play a game? You can play it yourself, but I get it because it's entertaining to them. And now I watch people play games. It's so weird. Um, but he said, Dad, it'd be cool if you got on YouTube. I said, bet. I started a YouTube channel, which was for reselling. I used to go out to garage sales and all that stuff. And I found out that that just wasn't my vibe. I hated editing. I hated doing all that piece of it. So I started doing a live show because my friend Sumo Thrifts at the time, he had a talk show on a late night that I used to go hang out in. It was about reselling. And I said, you know what? I really want to do that. So there was this friend of mine, Regina Michelle, that I just messaged her. I said, hey, you want to start a live talk show? And this was 5 years ago. And she was like, she thought I was joking. And I scheduled the show and I messaged her. I said, hey, we got a show tonight. She's like, we got a what? I was like, I told you that I want to do a show. And so we started doing live shows and we started inviting other sellers on at the time to just hold random conversations. So when I stopped doing that, the moment I ended the YouTube, I brought it over to Whatnot. I said, this is going to be great on Whatnot. Having a one-on-one with people, and I love doing it.
I love that. Keeping the tradition going. Seems like you got some fans in the audience. Amy Liz Biz asked, when will you try the octopus wasabi Lay's chips, Derrick?
Absolutely not. We need to go on and move on to the next question. Let's go.
Will do. All right. Nerd by Night Collectibles asked, what's the average profit margin and do you do dollar starts?
My average profit margin, it just depends on what I buy, how I buy it. If I buy it in bulk, the margins are a little bigger. Who I buy from? I buy from a lot of vendors, a lot of places. So the margin fluctuates. My minimum goal to something is I want to make 3 times the profit of what I buy it for. 3 times. That's my goal. 2 times is okay, but 3 times is kind of my goal. And do I do dollar starts? It depends. Most of the time I don't, but if I get I don't do giveaways anymore in my shows. It's not mandatory you do a giveaway when you get a raid. I do a dollar start on an item. That way the shipping gets paid for. I'm showing them appreciation, and maybe, who knows, maybe that item will get ran up for way more than you expect. So it just really depends on if I'm going to do a dollar start. If I get a massive raid, people got the energy is there. It's really filling your room. The energy is there. I may run 10 to 50 items at $1. It just really depends on the vibe.
Got it. Yeah. So you have to stay flexible. But yeah, no, it's a great testimony to show that you don't only have to do dollar starts and you can do what works for you as a seller. There's a lot of different ways to provide value on Whatnot. Totally. All right. Stop Go asks, how do I get more views?
That's kind of a loaded question.
Yeah.
That's a loaded
Maybe
question.
just a few tips and tricks, I'd say.
Yeah, there's no secret sauce to it, right? There's some shows that I have, and I have 40 people in a room. 40 people in the snack category is massive. It really depends on the category. On the average snack category, you'll have between 10 to 15 people. That's a solid show. How do I get more views? Get the people that like you. Find the people that like you, and you can't find them. They find you. And the best way to do that is kind of what we talked about earlier. Showing up consistently, having great product, being genuinely yourself, staying positive, having an entertaining show. All those are key things to showing up. You can hit all of those, right? And 2 things that throw it off. You can hit all of those. If your personality is trash, you're negative, it don't matter what you have. They're not going to buy from you. And the second piece is you can hit all of it. You can have an amazing personality. You can run an amazing show. You can show up consistently every week. If your product is trash, you're not going to sell it. So it's really you determining on what's working at all and being realistic in what you're doing. You got to have someone beside you that you can go to and be like, what is it? I'm hitting all these key notes, but I'm just not selling. What is it? You got to have that true friend and be like, it's you. You do. You got to have that one friend. I'm that friend. People don't ask me. All right, they don't ask me nothing unless they really want to hear the god awful truth. My friend Blazing Bunny, she knows. She'll if there's something or Leslie Rework of Passion, like they JJ Shopper, they know they can reach out to me, and I'm gonna be as real as can be.
We have homeschool mama in the chat. Oh snap, I'm gonna ask you now. Gotta keep it real. All right, I can imagine that some of the advice here might be very similar, but since you are very experienced with raid trains, how would you best prepare for them? This is a question from Retail Rebellion.
That's a great question. How do you prepare for them? You want to run. Look, a lot of people do this. They'll get on the raid train and they'll go out and buy inventory for the raid train. Number one, first get on raid trains that's going to fit what you already sell. What the last thing you want to do is hop on a raid train, especially some of the first ones you do, and then go out and buy inventory for that raid train and start selling stuff that you don't normally sell. Because don't forget, this is an audition. This is an audition for you. However long the raid train is, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, they're coming to see you for the very first time. You want to sell what you normally sell on your first few trains because you want people to know you for that. Oh, that's the Barbie girl, right? She sells Barbies, right? If that's what you normally sell, that's what you want to sell. And you want to run your show exactly how you would run it on any other day. You want them to see the true you in your full fashion, your full energy right from the beginning. Don't do anything different on your first few raid trains. All right. Get that following, man. They want to follow you for who you are and what you sell, not for the train that you're on. And make sure you're joining the right train. I'm not going to join a train where they say, you know, selling bras, right? And it's called Bratastic. I'm not joining that. That train is not for me. Yeah, I got invited, but I don't want to join that train. That's not my thing.
Yeah, so I think the real takeaway is just figuring out trains that can do something for your business or as a community that you want to be a part of for sure. Um, all right, this I think is a good question to end on, and I think it's kind of similar to the vibe of what we've been talking about, but from Dar's Deals. I
Oh,
think it's Dar's
darn.
Deals. How do you get more people to stay in your room once you have them?
Oh, man. Um, we can't. That's kind of one of those questions too. You expect people to jump in and out of your room, right? You're gonna have your core people that's gonna rock with you no matter what you do. Um, but to grab those newer people is acknowledgement. Once again, acknowledge them when they come in the room, and if you miss them, you can acknowledge the group in the whole. Shout out to everybody. Thank you guys, the chat right now. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today. This has been absolutely amazing. I know I probably missed a few of you guys coming in, but you guys are valued. I see you and I appreciate you. Sorry I wasn't able to catch you through the chat. It's just kind of been moving, right? Um, just acknowledge them that way. Run a great product at great value. This is not the Bay. We're just going to throw it out there. This is not the Bay. You're not going to get Bay prices. This is quick turnaround, guys. Quick turnaround, quick turnaround. Having realistic expectations for the value you're going to get in your item. And bringing great, valuable items. That's another way. Trust, building that trust. You can't sell your trash on here. I remember when Whatnot first came out, people thought they can come over there and sell the stuff that they couldn't sell on other platforms here on this platform. And they realized really fast that that's not going to work. Okay? Your reputation will become the trash seller, and no one wants that. So sell valuable, nice, high-end, valuable items, present it very well, and do it consistently. And that's really it. We can't make people stay, but we can give them a damn good reason to want to come back.
I love that. So what I'm hearing from you is consistency, good product, and engaging with the community. Those like three things are really good at keeping people there. I love that. All right. Well, quick plug for the giveaway that is up. I was sleeping on the giveaways. We have two before we end today, so I'm gonna let everyone, as much as possible, enter this fifth giveaway, and then we'll do a quick rapid fire one for our last wind up Whaty that's in the chat right now.
Doug.
That's in the store right now. But big thank you. Please let's blow up the chat for our guest of honor today, Derrick, seller from Fundamentals, beloved seller in our snack category. While we're doing these rapid, fast giveaways, Derrick, are there any shows or upcoming things that you want to promote for your account?
Yeah, tomorrow, bookmark the show tomorrow. It's myself and Blazing Bunny. We are having, and congratulations to the fun fit. That is yours.
There you go.
uh, Myself and Blazing Bunny, we're having a test kitchen. It's where we're trying out 5 snacks. Every other week, we send each other a box. Every couple of weeks, we send them a box of random items that we haven't tried, and we try them live on screen. Now, it can go very well because they're delicious, or it could be trash. Like we can get something that is just absolutely horrible, and you can see it live on screen. So that's very fun. And then on Saturday is a wrap up to the amazing bracket battle that we had. This is called 600 Seconds of Sudden Death Raid Train. We have 50 amazing sellers, 50 that are going to do 10-second sudden death $3 stars. So not only is this a massive train, a fast train, you guys are going to be able to get a lot of amazing deals in a lot of cross categories for $3 starts. And it goes so fast, I promise you, you will get some great deals because it goes so fast. So make sure you guys come check out that. Just type in 600 seconds, and it should, a lot of the shows should pop up. And yeah, that's hosted by myself, Blazing Bunny, and JJ Shopper on Saturday.
I love it. If you are not following Derrick from Fundamentals, please go do so. King of thumbnails and entertainment value, got all the good snacks. So definitely go check him out. Again, huge thank you, Derrick, for joining us today. Really appreciate it. You have so much wisdom, such good energy. So really grateful that I got to chat with you today. And for our folks in the chat, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Please follow Whatnot Sellers. We'll be streaming again next week. Hope to see you here. And now we are going to be rating another snack seller by the name of Urban Deals. So let's bring the energy chat. No need to, no need to buy anything. Just bring the good vibes, show the community love. And we'll see you next time. All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye, y'all.